Imagine waking up one morning and winter simply refuses to leave. Rivers begin to freeze that were never meant to freeze. Crops fail year after year. Civilizations panic, and entire armies, yes, armies are swallowed by blizzards so powerful that they reshape the destiny of nations. This wasn't a single bad winter. It was a worldwide climatic rebellion that lasted more than 5 centuries. Stay with us to discover the hidden story of the Little Ice Age, a time when frost changed kings, unleashed plagues, starved empires, and sparked migrations that still shape our world today. Because history teaches us that a drop in temperature can burn an entire world. From around the year 900 to 1300, Europe basked in what historians call the medieval warm period. Crops flourished. Vineyards grew as far north as England. Greenland, settled by Norse explorers, wasn't the icy tomb it is today. It actually had pastures. This warm period fueled population growth, trade, and the rise of cities. But beneath the surface, nature was shifting. Volcanoes stirred. Sunspot activity fluctuated. Ocean currents weakened, and by the early 1300s, the balance snapped. In 1315, Europe experienced the first warning, the Great Famine. Constant rain, cold, and storms destroyed crops. People ate bark, animals, even the dead. Chroniclers wrote that the sky felt wrong, as if the sun dimmed. The world was slipping quietly, slowly into an age of cold. Between 1300 and 1400, winters lengthened, summers shortened, harsh storms battered coastlines. But what's astonishing is that this wasn't only a European event. Across the globe, societies felt the cold bite. China Ming Dynasty records speak of frosts that killed the mulberry trees, devastating the silk trade. The Yellow River froze so solid that people built temporary houses on it. North America indigenous tribes experienced prolonged winters that disrupted hunting and agriculture. Some communities migrated southward, forced not by war, but by weather. The Arctic. The Norse settlements in Greenland began to starve. Their cattle died. Their trade network collapsed. By the 1400s, every Norse Greenlander vanished, one of history's great disappearances, driven by climate, not conquest. Nature was rewriting the map of humanity. The Little Ice Age wasn't caused by one single event. It was a perfect storm of multiple forces. Volcanic eruptions. Several massive eruptions like Mount Somalis in 1257 spewed ash into the atmosphere, blocking sunlight for years. Ice core samples reveal volcanic signatures throughout the era. Solar minimum sunspot activity dropped dramatically. The most famous is the Maunder minimum, 1645 to 1715, when the sun entered a strange, prolonged quiet mode. With less solar radiation, Earth cooled. Ocean current disruptions. The North Atlantic circulation weakened, shifting heat away from Europe. Think of it like the planet turning down its heating system. Deforestation and agriculture shifts, with millions dying or migrating. Farmland was abandoned and forests regrew. Plant life absorbed CO2, cooling the planet further. This combination formed a global cascade effect. The world didn't just freeze, it locked into a feedback loop of cold. The Little Ice Age created scenes that sound impossible today, yet they happened. The Thames River freeze, England. For centuries, the Thames froze solid. Londoners held frost fairs on the ice, complete with shops, pubs, plays, and even horse races. In 1684s, the ice froze so thick that entire streets were built on top of it. The Baltic Sea froze, armies walked over it. In 1658, during the Northern Wars, Swedish King Charles II marched his army across the frozen sea to Denmark, something no general in history could have imagined. He won the war because the sea literally became a road. Iceland nearly collapsed. Sea ice blocked Icelandic shores. Livestock died. Volcano eruptions combined with cold to devastate the island. A quarter of Iceland's population perished. Japan, the Great Cold, Samurai era. Japan recorded deadly famines, with cherry blossoms blooming weeks late. In the 1600s, snow fell fell in regions that had never seen it before. The cold was not just an inconvenience, it was a global crisis reshaping humanity. One thing historians rarely mention: the Little Ice Age helped unleash the Black Death. The cooling climate weakened populations through famine and malnutrition. But even more shocking, it forced rodents carrying plague bacteria to migrate into human settlements searching for food. When the Black Death struck in 1347, it found an already starving, freezing world. The result? Up to 200 million dead. Entire villages vanished from the European map. Labor shortages shook the foundations of medieval society. Climate didn't just freeze crops, it amplified one of the deadliest pandemics in human history. The Little Ice Age didn't cause wars directly, but it turned every spark into an inferno. Europe's witch hunts. During the coldest decades, crop failures were blamed on witches. Between 1560 and 1660, tens of thousands were executed. Historians now believe climate stress fueled the hysteria. The fall of the Ming Dynasty. China's dynasty collapsed in the 1600s, partly due to famine triggered by extreme winters and shortened growing seasons. The Ottoman Empire's decline, freezing Balkan winters, devastated agriculture. Food shortages sparked revolts that weakened the empire. French Revolution, 1789. Years before it, France suffered brutal winters and failed harvests. When bread prices skyrocketed, revolt became inevitable. Migration and settlement shifts. Scandinavians left marginal farmlands. Native tribes in North America reshaped alliances and territories. Humanity was constantly adjusting to the climate's unpredictable fist. The Little Ice Age didn't just freeze rivers, it froze empires and shattered others. One of the coldest peaks came in the early 1800s, the year without a summer, 1816. Triggered by the eruption of Mount Tambora in 1815, the largest eruption in 10,000 years, global temperatures plummeted. Snow fell in June. Frost killed crops in July. People thought the apocalypse had arrived, but this year also changed culture. Mary Shelley, trapped indoors by freezing weather in Switzerland, wrote Frankenstein. Famine pushed thousands to migrate to America. Paintings from Turner and other artists captured skies changed by volcanic ash. Climate was silently sculpting art, literature, migration, and the modern world. By the mid-1800s, temperatures began to rise again, not dramatically, but steadily. Why? Solar activity increased, major volcanic eruptions subsided, industrialization released CO2. By 1850, the Little Ice Age faded into memory, yet its fingerprints remain everywhere: the shapes of coastlines, the collapse of dynasties, the birth of modern migration, the rise of nation-states, even the folklore of endless winters in European stories. Humanity didn't just survive the Little Ice Age, it was forged by it. Its lessons echo into our own era. Climate always shapes history. Wars, migrations, revolutions. Beneath them often lies a shift in temperature. Civilizations are fragile. A few degrees colder for a few decades changed the fate of continents. Nature doesn't care about empires. Kings could command armies, but not the wind, not the snow, not the sun. Human resilience is extraordinary. From frozen seas to failed harvests, humanity adapted, migrated, reinvented itself. The Little Ice Age wasn't just a climate event. It was a reminder that the world we know can change in an instant. For 500 years, winter ruled the world. It froze rivers, toppled empires, birthed legends, and carved new paths for humanity. From the collapse of distant settlements to revolutions in the heart of Europe, the Little Ice Age left a legacy etched not in stone but in climate. And perhaps the most haunting truth is this: civilizations rise in the warmth, but they are tested in the cold. Thank you for watching Timeless Realms TV. Stay curious, because the past is never as distant as it seems.